The Talkline Communications Network proudly presents its flagship program, Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's #1 Jewish program. And now your host, Zev Brenner.
And welcome to another edition of Talkline. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you once again from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner at Chelsea Piers in New York City. Among our guests tonight, Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas, Dr. Ruth, and more. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back right after these messages. Don't go away.
Now through January 2nd at the Folksbiene Yiddish Theater at the JCC in Manhattan is this wonderful musical comedy, a novel romance. With English supertitles, the simultaneous translation is projected on a screen above the stage. Performances are Wednesdays and Thursdays 2 and 8, Saturday nights at 8, Sundays at 2 and 6. We're also playing Sundays at 11 a.m. Kids and Yiddish. The Mishnah Gas continues. 90% English, 10% Yiddish, but 100% pure family fun. For tickets, call 1-800-9-YIDDISH.
These very dangerous drugs have caused terrible injuries and even death. You or a family member may be a victim and you don't even know it. Call 1-800-624-8888 immediately to find out whether you qualify for diagnostic and medical care and money damages. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer. Make that free call now, 1-800-624-8888. I'm waiting to help you, 1-800-624-8888.
Agent MS is the great new video series for Jewish kids that educates while it entertains. Shimmy Epstein is a typical yeshiva boy, but when the forces of evil strike, led by their fiendish leader, Dr. Lotov, Shimmy transforms into the awesome Agent MS. The Forward recommends Agent MS as a perfect gift, reporting that in their experience, kids just eat it up. Agent MS is now out in 3 great episodes. Find it in your local Judaica store, or check out their website at agent-ms.com, or call 1-888-MS-123.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City.
Tonight we will be meeting the founders and visionaries who started this organization and who have to date helped to save the lives of 2,300 children. Fairly magnificent. And we are also honoring someone magnificent, Michael Douglas. He's also here this evening.
We're speaking with a very talented Caroline Reyes. She's with Sabrina, the TV show, great star, and she's here tonight for the Chabad Children of Chernobyl. I admire your use of the Yiddish language tonight.
Thank you very much. You know what? I love Rebecca Goldstein. She's a very brilliant Jewish writer, and I've lived in New York for 15 years, and I've been told I have a Jewish soul. So, it was nice to be there with the whole mishpucha.
Which other Yiddish words did you use tonight?
What other words? Well, I said that I was engaged, but it wasn't bishmert. But it didn't cause me any surus. And then I found out that big difference between mitzvah and mikvah. How a few letters can make all the difference in the world.
Terrific. So how did you get to the Chabad Children of Chernobyl?
You know what? They just asked me literally yesterday. Someone said, there's this event in town and they need a host. And I said, well, what's the event? And then they told me what it was. And I said, oh, absolutely. Whatever. It's such a beautiful cause. I mean, heartbreaking, but very admirable.
All the children were gravitating to you from the Sabrina. Yes. What other roles do you have upcoming?
I'm in Christmas with the Cranks. And then next year they'll be gravitating because I did a big movie with Hilary Duff. And that's coming out next summer.
Terrific. And I hope you come back to Chabad Children of Chernobyl.
I will. I need another word. Baba Maisa means just like a stupid story, right?
But Maisa means a stupid story.
Like a made-up story?
Right. Let's say Amirza Hashem means God willing you'll be back next year.
Wait, say it again.
Amirza.
Amirta.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Right. Means God willing.
And I'll be back next year. Hashem. Amirta Hashem. Amirza.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Right.
Amirza Hashem.
Spoken just like a Rebbitzin. And we're not going to call the show Sabrina. We're going to call it the Rebbitzin. How's that?
No, and I just learned what which was too in Yiddish. It'd say
Machashefa.
Machashefa.
But you're sure not a Machashefa. Amirza.
Amirza.
Hashem.
Hashem.
God willing.
Imerza Hashem.
You got to use it tonight.
I personally think God speaks all the languages. But I know I'm going to go to Imerza Hashem. Okay.
Thank you. One of the things I love about the Chabad Children of Chernobyl, you see familiar faces. Rabbi Nussin Sherman, he is the head of Art Scroll. But I know Rabbi Sherman, he was my 7th grade teacher in Torah Vodas Yeshiva. So it's an honor to have Rabbi Sherman with us. So Rabbi Sherman, welcome.
Thank you. I'm proud. You're not even ashamed to admit it.
I'm very proud to admit it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, we had some good days together.
I know that with Art Scroll you're involved in a whole different genre of bringing Judaica to the masses with a tremendous volume. But you miss the days of being in yeshiva?
I really do. I miss the education part of it, not the administrative part of it. It was once I became a principal and the school grew, and I spent more time with bus schedules and correspondence and parents than I did with children. Then I decided it was time to get out.
And out you've been, of course, with Art Scroll, which is really all over the world. You'll find Art Scroll had a tremendous impact. And I know that one of the reasons that brings you here is the Schottenstein family is also involved with Art Scroll, but also the Chabad children in Chernobyl.
Yeah, well, it's really mainly the Schottenstein family. The Schottenstein edition of the Talmud, the English one, will be finished in March. And we're having a dinner at the New York Hilton to celebrate it, March 15th. And the Jay and Jeannie have undertaken the Hebrew Talmud, Daf Yomi Talmud, interlinear Siddur, a whole batch of other things. Perek Shira just came out recently under their sponsorship. They're marvelous people.
They are marvelous people, and they're very philanthropic and giving, and whether it's to this organization, a lot of other organizations with that. So Art Scroll is growing. What can we expect in the next decade for Art Scroll?
Well, we're starting Yerushalmi now. One volume of Chumash Ramban is out. That'll be an 8-volume series. Yerushalmi will be 43 volumes.
Wow.
And we expect to start Midrash Rabbah. And then, who knows, sky's the limit.
So if you want, it's a big Torah. If you want to get a handle on what Our People is all about, make sure you pick up Art Scroll from Masorah Publications, the leader in English language Judaica. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Thank you, Rabbi Sher. You taught me well.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Thank you. Dorothy and Hank Paul are honorees tonight. They've brought John Voight to Chabad Shalom Chernobyl, as well as a lot of different events in the Jewish community. They're his managers, best friends over 25 years. So welcome to the program. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure to be here.
I understand that you heard our program, by the way, by accident the other night?
Did last night. I won't say it's an accident, but I've been listening to talk radio since Peacock Alley. You know who Peacock Alley was? Jinx and Tex Falkenberg. You ever hear of him?
Not yet. Wow.
Goes back to probably the 1950 or something like that. In New York City, here.
In New York City.
That came, I think, from the Waldorf.
Now, you represent John Voight. John, by the way, is a terrific talent. He also such a good, I was going to say Yiddish hearts almost, the way he dances. I told him, last time I interviewed him, I said he's going to play a chassid in the next TV show.
That's right. He's very, very fond of the Jewish people. He loves us. He knows we're Jewish. And because he loves us, he suddenly loves all the Jews. That's the truth.
Sorry how when he's walking in Century City and the guy comes, I recognize you, I know who you are. See, he doesn't say nothing. He says, I never forget a face. He says, yeah, he says, the Chabad dances, that's it. That's it. You don't know him from the films. John loves that.
He's nice. And you mentioned that you're not only his man, but you're also best friends. I like that.
This is goddaughter Skylar, since she's born, but she doesn't want to say hello. There she is. Yeah, she wants to say hi. Come say hello.
Come in and say hello.
Goddaughter and my
hello.
granddaughter.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Al, our best friend. This is Al, our best friend, our right-hand girl. She did this wonderful documentary you can see this evening. Michael Douglas family.
Terrific.
Single-handed.
And you are an actress also?
I am indeed an actress, yes.
What are you starring in?
I'm starring in a film that was just out called Super Babies, Baby Genesis 2, and I'm starting up a film shortly called Darkland.
Very nice. Very nice. Is John Voight starring any of these films that your daughter?
This one.
The next one, solo. I'm doing 2 films,
Just
yes.
was in the Baby Genius.
The one that I just had come out. Yes.
Terrific. Listen, congratulations on award.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you. Marilyn Michaels, talented actress, songstress. She's here with us once again. We had her on last time.
See that model? You just had that gorgeous model, very thin?
Yes.
She's not Jewish.
Not yet, right?
No, but I have a lovely face.
And Dr. Roth is here tonight. She's really very small. You know, she's going to sit under the table, all right?
And you do great I forgot to mention impressionists as well.
Great impressions. Barbara Streisand, you know, people like that. But right now I'm producing a show.
What kind of show are you producing?
Producing an off-Broadway show. You've seen the show Sex and the City. Sex and the City. This is Sex with the City, and it's a satire. So I'm excited about it. And I'm very happy to be here tonight. You know, I was here when they did Burt Reynolds. We honored Burt Reynolds. And tonight they're honoring, what's his name? Yeah, Michael Douglas. So that's wonderful. They do this magnificently, and it is an incredible charity. The money goes to the kids. That's the most important thing.
It's terrific, and you sound like you're busy too. And I remember you Catskills on Broadway, right?
Catskills on Broadway, I did that, and just did 2 concerts at Queen's Theater in the Park, which were great. They sold out. Yes, I'm happy to be here tonight. It's wonderful.
Marilyn, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you. We're going to be right back with our special broadcast from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Now through January 2nd at the Folks Bina Yiddish Theater at the JCC in Manhattan is this wonderful musical comedy, a novel romance. With English supertitles, the simultaneous translation is projected on a screen above the stage. Performances are Wednesdays and Thursdays 2 and 8, Saturday nights at 8, Sundays at 2 and 6. We're also playing Sundays at 11 a.m. Kids and Yiddish. The Mishigas continues. 90% English, 10% Yiddish, for 100% pure family fun. For tickets, call 1-800-9-YIDDISH.
Medical mistakes. Doctors, nurses, technicians, and drug companies all make terrible mistakes. When they do, you may be eligible for money damages and medical care. I'm the lawyer to call if you think you're a victim. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer. 1-800-624-8888. I take on the biggest hospitals and doctors to get you all the cash you deserve, the money you need. Call me, 1-800-624-8888.
When we came here, I think we were sold immediately. The cleanliness of the place, the caring of the people, Mr. and Mrs. Scharf's personal involvement, and just the ruach, the atmosphere of the place itself was something that sold my sister and I on having my mother come here.
There's many reasons why I decided to stay in the Terrat Road. Number one is the shul, which I'm used to go to have a meal in the morning and the evening. We have a Daf Yomi, and I have my friends over here. You could be occupied all day.
The most important thing about my being here at a Terrat Vote that I enjoy is that I am not alone. I have the comforts of a private room. I do what I want when I want. I participate in everything that I'm interested in. And the people here are very kind to me, and they keep me informed about what's going on, what I might be interested in, and they always shut me down.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City.
On April 26, 1986, there was an explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power station in northern Ukraine. 190 tons of radioactive graphite and uranium were spewed into the atmosphere. The people of Chernobyl and the surrounding area were exposed to radiation 90 times worse than that released by the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Within months, 400,000 people were evacuated from the area, and 2,000 contaminated villages were bulldozed. But the deadly radiation settled on a much larger area in this so-called exclusion zone. Today, almost 19 years after the accident, 6 million people live in contaminated areas in the Ukraine, Western Russia, and the Republic of Belarus. Radioactive materials have seeped into the groundwater and the soil, and from there into the food supply. Because radiation and its effects are cumulative, each bite of food causes more and more radioactive material to collect in the bones, limbs, and organs of the victims of Chernobyl, with deadly results. And the ones who have suffered most have been children. In Belarus, there has been a 2,400% increase in children with thyroid cancer. In the city of Gomel, the increase in thyroid cancer is 10,000%. And throughout the region, there have been profound increases in cancer, leukemia, birth deformities, and the infant mortality rate.
I've seen children chained to their beds in orphanages. I've seen children who have been cast into the garbage heap simply because they had a cleft palate or because they had difficulty walking and needed a simple operation. I've seen children who've had hydrocephalus that needed a simple shunt in the back of their head to save their lives, who are dead now. Well, I know they're dead now.
Dr. Ron Kaplan and Liz Avital are here on behalf of Chabad Children Chernobyl. Liz is from Israel, Dr. Ron Kaplan from New York. So how'd you get involved with the Chabad Children Chernobyl?
Well, I'm just interested in what happened in Chernobyl. It was a horrible tragedy.
As a doctor, you probably can give first-hand knowledge of that.
Of course, and not only that, but unfortunately something like that could happen again. And we all have to do everything in our power to prevent something like that from happening again. Not to mention that a lot of children were damaged for life. Radiation damage is a really terrible thing. I don't think people realize the half-life of radioactive elements goes on for thousands of years. So we have to protect ourselves as a society against this type of event, and that's why I'm here.
Very nice. And this is the first time that you're here, Liz?
That's true. It's the first time.
It's a really wonderful event, right?
It is. It's beautiful, and hopefully I will support it.
Thank you for being with us.
Michael, you know how much I wanted to be there with you this evening, but alas, a man in a black mask named Zorro is holding me captive here in Mexico. But congratulations, my love, on being honored this year for your support of Children of Chernobyl, a cause I know is very close to your heart, as important as your work with the UN as messenger of peace, specifically in the area of nuclear proliferation. And you know, honey, when we speak of our children and we wonder how they will evolve in this world, I think we unanimously agree that all we wish for is that they become good citizens of the planet.
What you are doing is something good for a real worthy cause. The children of Chernobyl would happen to be an area very close to where my ancestors came from.
Michael's life is filled with accomplishment. He also happens to be a very good golfer, for those of you that don't know. Meaning and purpose. He has employed the talents given to him not only to further a brilliant acting career, but also to better the world around him in so many ways. It's true pleasure and a real honor to bestow the Children at Heart Award on this most deserving of men for his selfless devotion to the children, for his passion to ensure that catastrophes like Chernobyl never again occur, for his commitment to the world around him. We honor Michael Douglas tonight and thank him for all that he does to make this planet a better one, and one in which we can all live and be proud and happy and safe. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, our good friend, Michael Douglas.
I can't tell you enough and give enough credit to all the great work that has been doing by Chabad for Children of Chernobyl. Not only for those 2,000 plus children now, but more importantly for me, keeping this message alive about the dangers of radiation and contamination. It'll be almost 20 years, and when you realize what the half-life is, it's going to be thousands of years. And it's an important issue that I think we all should remember, and I just really, really want to congratulate and acknowledge all of the wonderful work that Chabad Children of Chernobyl are doing, and to these founders and visionaries. And finally, my only political note of the evening is to please, please support the Non-Proliferation Treaty. It's important that we keep control of this dangerous, dangerous material. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We have the privilege of speaking with one of the great stars of today, Michael Douglas.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be here. Really a joy.
Is there a Hebrew name attached with Michael?
Not that I know of, not with my name, but I'm just very, very happy. This is Children of Chernobyl is an amazing organization, and the work that Chabad does in Israel for all these kids is extraordinary. So if you can be here and help out a little bit and raise some more money, good news.
It's a wonderful. I was telling you that I see almost every time I flick on the TV, I see Wall Street.
Yeah.
Is there any film that you enjoy the most doing?
You know, you work on your failures as well as your successes. It's just as hard. Wall Street was a wonderfully colorful part. I think I like the ones that kind of have the dark sense of humor, like the Romancing the Stone or War of the Roses, Falling Down. A couple of those were pleasures.
Terrific, terrific. Any Jewish roles coming up?
Nah, not that I know of per se, but always hope so. Although I did, recently did a picture with my father called "It Runs in the Family," which is about a Jewish household.
Because I asked John Voight before, he told me he'd like to play a Hasidic Rebbe, so I wonder if you had any specific Jewish role you'd love to play.
It'd be fun to find out, but I haven't found that part yet.
Anyway, thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Great Michael Douglas. Thank you. We're going to be right back with our special broadcast from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Injury victims, you have rights. The right to money, to medical care, to lost wages, the right to insurance money, to cash awards, to damages, the right to legal payback. To enforce all your rights, call me at 1-800-624-8888. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer. I'll enforce your most important right, the right to money. Call me right away, 1-800-624-8888.
When we came here, I think we were sold immediately. The cleanliness of the place, the caring of the people, Mr. and Mrs. Scharf's personal involvement, and just the ruach, the atmosphere of the place itself was something that sold my sister and I on having my mother come here.
There's many reasons why I decided to stay in the Teret Road. Number one is the shul, which I'm used to go to Tevami in the morning and the evening. We have a Daf Yomi, and I have my friends over here. You could be occupied all day.
The most important thing about my being here at a Teret vote that I enjoy is that I am not alone. I have the comforts of a private room. I do what I want when I want. I participate in everything that I'm interested in. And the people here are very kind to me, and they keep me informed about what's going on, what I might be interested in, and they always shut me down.
Are you in business, store owner, wholesaler, or manufacturer? Do you know that you may be eligible for free television and radio advertising? Yes, millions of dollars are lost every year by businesses not taking advantage of free television and radio advertising. Don't lose out. Advertising is the lifeline of any business, large or small. For a free consultation, call in the New York area 212-769-1925. Out of New York, call toll-free 1-800-628-TALK.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City.
Nothing comes before the cry of a child. It matters not how engrossed in spirituality or spiritual matters you may be. You must always stop and respond to the cry of a child. Tonight is dedicated to all of those who heard the cries of the Chernobyl children. The Rebbe, who through his inspiration sensitized us to the cries of these children. Our founders and visionaries, whom we recognize tonight, have not only heard the cry of one child, they've heard the cries of thousands of children. Their vision, their guidance, their energy and time help establish Chabad Children of Chernobyl. And you, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard and responded to the cries of these children. Through your help, we have evacuated over 2,300 children and given them a new lease on life.
They're coming from all over the world to the Children of Chernobyl dinner, and from Argentina, Adrian and Andy Wertheim. He is head of an insurance company. I cannot pronounce the Spanish company. CAH, right?
The CAH Insurance Group.
The CAH, the insurance group. Okay. How do you say it in Yiddish?
It is the CAH Insurance Group.
That's a long trip from his Hebrew name is Avraham, by the way, and your Hebrew name?
Yael.
Yeah, beautiful. How did you end up from Argentina to the Chabad Children of Chernobyl here in the United States tonight?
Well, we are very happy to be here with the children of Chernobyl. It's a great cause. We are good friends with Rabbi Yossi Rychek. He's a great man. And we've been with him in Jerusalem a few weeks ago. We were not sure if we were going to be able to join you tonight, but fortunately we made it, and here we are. Very happy being with you here.
Terrific. And how long, Yael, have you been involved with the Chabad Children of Chernobyl?
Approximately 6 years since we first met Rabbi Yossi Rychek, and we are very happy to be involved with Children of Chernobyl.
This is the first time that you have been in the United States for them?
Yes, it's the first time for them, yeah, and we are very pleased to be here.
Thank you. It was a nice trip, and thank you for really. How long does it take to get from Argentina to the United States?
Well, if you fly non-stop, it would take you only 10 hours and a half. But it's not too far, because living in Argentina, we are used that to Europe, you have 13 hours, and if you're going to the Far East, it's 24 hours. So when you want to be there, there's no distance. You just do it.
By the way, how large is the Jewish community in Argentina these days?
Well, it's quite a large community. It's approximately around 2,050 people, yeah.
200,000.
I'm sorry, yeah, 200,000 people. Used to be larger than that one, but we're still a big group.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being with. Thank you. Shalom, shalom. Malcolm Hoenlein is the Executive Vice Chairman of the Conference of Presidents, a major American Jewish organization. David Halpern is with Yad Vashem and a lot of Jewish organizations. His wife Sharon also joins us with us. So welcome. And Malcolm, I know that you go to a lot of different events, and I know it's important that you've made your commitment to be. You're on your way literally to Israel as we speak.
Literally, from here to the onto the plane.
But I know it's important because of the work that's with children that the Chabad Children of Chernobyl are involved with.
It's very important, and they have sustained this program when I think many others would have given up. You can't think of the number of children who have been helped over the years, the thousands of children who have been impacted, whose lives have been impacted, and the future generations that will come from them who will owe it all to this program.
Very, very important, and thank you for what you're doing, and hopefully things will change now, right? Are you optimistic, Malcolm, that things are going to change for the better now?
I'm always optimistic. It doesn't mean I have good reason, but I'm always optimistic.
All of us are out. That's a Jewish nature to be optimistic, right? Thank you, Malcolm. David, I know that we've had the privilege of having you on some of our other broadcasts, and I know your activities, especially on behalf of Holocaust education and getting that message out. And a question that I have, though, in a way, a lot of people know about what happened, but you walk through different areas, including in New York, a lot of people are not aware of what happened during the Holocaust. I'm sure you come across that as well. Question is, how do we get people more aware of what really happened?
I think at this stage in history, we have to realize that the survivors' generation is a dwindling generation, unfortunately, and my generation and our children's generation have to take over the remembrance of the Holocaust, because it's not only that we remember the Holocaust for some nostalgic reason, we remember the Holocaust for our own future. If we don't nourish the state of Israel and keep the state of Israel strong, our people are weaker, and if our people are weaker, we're vulnerable to, God forbid, other problems. So we have to make sure that the Holocaust is remembered, and we have to keep Israel strong.
Very well. And by the way, you probably see there are a lot of Holocaust deniers, whether it's in the Arab world, and you find it in England, you find it even in New York and the United States. They say the Holocaust never took place. It's a terrible thing, but the question is, how do we... It's a task that we have ongoing to try to educate the people. I know you've done well with your family. Your grandparents, congratulations, by the way. You've done very well with your children, bringing them up in Jewish communal life, which I think is important.
Well, we have to keep on speaking to our children and telling the stories of the Holocaust so that it still lives. And through the museums and the papers, we have to just keep everybody aware of what did happen, and a strong Israel will help that never happens again.
Very, very true. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and I look forward to having you back on a future broadcast. We're the privilege of speaking with Kathleen Turner, the great Kathleen Turner. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Is a reunion tonight with Michael Douglas?
Oh, yes. I mean, we do get to see each other every once in a while, even when we're not working together, but it is nice always to see him.
What brings you to the Chabad Children of Chernobyl?
We have been involved with this organization for some years, my husband and I. We have very close friends who have helped to start it, and we think it's a very right, worthy cause. So I think this is at least the fourth or fifth. Jay, love, how many years have we been involved? This is my husband.
Dr. J?
5 or 6. It's about as long as it's been going. Yeah.
I've seen you also some other Jewish events. United Jewish Appeal, UJ Federation, I believe, is some other dinners, right, over the course of time?
Well, also, I've had the greatest honor and fortune to be a good friend of Shimon Peres. So he asked me to his birthday party last year, which I enjoyed immensely. And I've traveled to Israel to bring together groups of actors, writers, directors, both Palestinian and Israeli, in an attempt for dialogue, in workshops, to try and make the work overcome the differences.
Do I foresee any roles? Will you take any Middle Eastern roles coming up?
No, my next role will be Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on Broadway. Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. We're going to be right back with our special broadcast from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City right after these messages. Stay tuned.
These very dangerous drugs have caused terrible injuries and even death. You or a family member may be a victim and you don't even know it. Call 1-800-624-8888 immediately to find out whether you qualify for diagnostic and medical care and money damages. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer. Make that free call now, 1-800-624-8888. I'm waiting to help you, 1-800-624-8888.
Now through January 2nd at the Folks Bina Yiddish Theater at the JCC in Manhattan is this wonderful musical comedy, a novel romance. With English supertitles, the simultaneous translation is projected on a screen above the stage. Performances are Wednesdays and Thursdays 2 and 8, Saturday nights at 8, Sundays at 2 and 6. We're also playing Sundays at 11 a.m. Kids and Yiddish. The Mishigas continues. 90% English, 10% Yiddish, for 100% pure family fun. For tickets, call 1-800-9-YIDDISH.
Agent MS is the great new video series for Jewish kids that educates while it entertains. Shimmy Epstein is a typical yeshiva boy, but when the forces of evil strike, led by their fiendish leader, Dr. Lotov, Shimmy transforms into the awesome Agent MS. The Forward recommends Agent MS as a perfect gift, reporting that in their experience, kids just eat it up. Agent MS is now out in 3 great episodes. Find it in your local Judaica store, or check out their website at agent-ms.com, or call 1-888-MS-123.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City. We're speaking with the Jesselson, part of the Jesselson family, right? Michael Jesselson and Maya Jesselson, her first time at the Children of Chernobyl, but Michael has been here before. The Jesselson family is well known in philanthropic circles for what they do for the Jewish community. So I want to welcome you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And you brought Maya to you. Maya, how do you like being here at the Chabad Children of Chernobyl tonight?
It's good. I met a lot of famous people.
Who did you meet?
I don't really know their names.
But they're famous. She knows they're famous, right, Michael?
Well, she met you now.
Oh, I'm the most famous, right? Now, who are your friends over here? Who's this?
Me? Melissa Katz.
And where are you from, Melissa?
Riverdale.
I know your parents, Shimon Katz, are very involved in Children of Chernobyl. And what is your name?
Amanda Letterman.
And where are you from, Amanda?
New Rochelle.
Okay, I bet you go to, what school do you go to?
SAR.
SAR also, right? SAR? SAR. And what is your name?
Rebecca Tessel.
Okay, and your parents are being honored tonight, right? I had interviewed them before. And Rebecca, where are you from?
Riverdale.
Okay, we got the whole Riverdale contingent for the Chabad Children of Chernobyl, and nice to see you all, okay? You're all movie stars tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you all in the same grade?
Yeah.
What grade is that?
She's older than us. I'm older.
Oh, older. What grade are you in?
8th.
And yourself?
6th.
Sixth grade. Terrific. Thank you.
10 years ago, I was given a role that would influence my life in many ways. And it gave me the opportunity to perform mitzvahs that I perhaps would not have been able to understand years earlier. I portrayed a doctor, Dr. Robert Gale, in a television movie. And I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Gale, and he was administering to the children of Chernobyl and to the firemen and to all the people in the contaminated areas. And I found out a lot about all of the poisons and damage and its effect on the people. And I saw him as a true hero. And I felt that I was really only to portray him as an actor, and I would love to have been able to do something more. And my dear friends Hank and Dorothy Paul, who will be among the people that I'll introduce here tonight, found their way to tell me about a wonderful organization, an amazing group of spiritual people that were rescuing these children from this radiation poisoning. And I joined up, and I have to say that I was very fortunate to be part of this tremendous work. It's taught me humility, unselfishness, compassion, sharing, loving, and every important virtue in a greater way than I could ever have learned just by being John Voight, the actor.
What's a Chabad Children of Chernobyl event without John Voight? What's any Chabad event without John Voight? Welcome back, the famous, talented actor.
Thank you. Thanks very much. It's great to be here. Listen, this is the most wonderful silent auction, I got to say. I wish I could have talked to you a week ago, so you should have made arrangements to get here. It's the greatest stuff in the silent auction, and I know the event will be terrific and will, save many children's lives from this event here tonight.
I know you called Tom Cruise just as you're walking in to come here tonight, too.
I'm right up to the last minute. I'm like Yossi Rychik. It's right to the last minute, still trying to get another person to make the event a little bit more fun for the people who've spent the money to come. But anyway, we'll see how. I know it's going to be a brilliant night, and it's going to raise a lot of money. And those children, when you think of those children in Chernobyl, it's an interesting thing. We have in this country, we have so many wonderful families, and we know how important it is to have the kids have the security of a proper family and the environment, and the healthy food, and all of that, and lots of love. And these kids go to bed every night not knowing whether or not they're breathing in something that they can't see that's damaging their health day to day. So it's really a wonderful thing that these people have come up with this idea through the Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, to take action. And that's what they did 13, 14 years ago, and they've been at it ever since, and they've rescued 2,300 kids. I mean, it's amazing what they do. But it takes a lot of work and a lot of people pulling together, and all these people are quite extraordinary that they do this every year to save the child.
No, and you've been terrific. You've been here, you've brought Burt Reynolds and other movie actors. You're really committed to Chabad and the Children of Chernobyl, and I see you on the telethon. I'm sure you get stopped in the street all the time, right, when they see you on TV, especially for Jewish causes?
Yeah, I tell a story, which is that I'm going in this. This happens often to me, by the way, different versions of the same story. I'm pushing a cart through a supermarket in Hollywood, in Beverly Hills or somewhere, and I go around the corner and an arm reaches out and grabs me, strong grip. And I turn around and it's an old woman who looks up at me and she puts her finger in my face and says, "Boychik, you're a good dancer and you're getting better."
It's by the way, I had your best friends, your producers for the last 25 years.
Hank and Dorothy Paul, great people. And really they're responsible for my getting here, because they've devoted themselves to this. I rely on them absolutely for an understanding of what's important, and they put me in focus of this event and the important mitzvah, if I can use that word, being, in this company, everybody knows what that word means. This get a blessing for doing a good deed, and they focused me here, and I'm so grateful and fortunate to have people who have wisdom and guidance, because in my profession I can be doing a lot of silly things, but this event has taught me humility, taught me compassion, it taught me love and all the great virtues.
By the way, I've been trying to get this from your agent, even from your last time. When are you going to play a Hasidic Rebbe in a movie? I'm waiting. You dance, you got your dance, you got the Yiddish. So what's next?
Well, listen, I would love to do that. I'm always looking for somebody to play the Baal Shem. I'm always looking for the stories of the Baal Shem to be brought forth, because I think they're such great stories. But we'll see what happens. You never can tell what I'm going to do. Whenever they can't find somebody to do something, they say, well, maybe Voight can figure it out. So they throw me these roles,
So maybe next year by the Chabad Children, when we're here, God willing, again, maybe we'll get you a shrine and we'll get a role set up.
Well, you never can tell. I'd never say no to anything. The good Lord has his ways, you know what I mean? You never know where he's going to be employing you.
Thank you. By the way, how many years have you been involved in, whether it's telethons, Children of Chernobyl, active for these different good causes?
Well, for all of my adult life, but much more accelerated since I've met Dorothy and Hank Paul, I must say, because they really are a continuous energy for helping people.
John, it's a farganigan, as we say in English.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. Thank you for the good work that you're doing. Dr. Ruth is here too. We had you on last year and the year before. You're a regular Chabad Children of Chernobyl, are you not?
I certainly am here every single year because it's a fabulous, fabulous event. What I love the most is look at all of the Orthodox and the half-naked women walking around and people like me who know about Jewishness but are conservative and reform, and we all are pulling together for a good cause. Look at that. A couple of years ago, I didn't know what the word Chernobyl was. And to pull together for the children, Jews and not Jews, for such an important event, this is what it's all about. I love when people have a good time and at the same time do something for a good cause. That's why I'm here.
That's very important. I know that you're here regularly and you bring people in too. The Schreibers, I remember you brought on the air with us last time, and others.
The Schreibers brought me to this event. I have a question to you, but when you get off the air.
All right, not a problem with that. Dr. Ruth, thank you for being with us once again.
Thank you.
And I'll report you what the question is next broadcast. We're going to be right back with our special broadcast from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City right after these messages. Stay tuned.
When we came here, I think we were sold immediately. The cleanliness of the place, the caring of the people, Mr. and Mrs. Scharf's personal involvement, and just the ruach, the atmosphere of the place itself was something that sold my sister and I on having my mother come here.
There's many reasons why I decided to stay at Teret Road. Number one is the shul, which I'm used to go to Tevami in the morning and the evening. We have a Daf Yomi, and I have my friends over here. You could be occupied all day.
The most important thing about my being here at a Teret vote that I enjoy is that I am not alone. I have the comforts of a private room. I do what I want when I want. I participate in everything that I'm interested in. And people here are very kind to me, and they keep me informed about what's going on, what I might be interested in, and they always shut me down.
Are you in business, store owner, wholesaler, or manufacturer? Do you know that you may be eligible for free television and radio advertising? Yes, millions of dollars are lost every year by businesses not taking advantage of free television and radio advertising. Don't lose out. Advertising is the lifeline of any business, large or small. For a free consultation, call in the New York area 212-769-1925. Out of New York, call toll-free 1-800-628-TALK.
Now through January 2nd at the Folksbiene Yiddish Theater at the JCC in Manhattan is this wonderful musical comedy, a novel romance. With English supertitles, the simultaneous translation is projected on a screen above the stage. Performances are Wednesdays and Thursdays 2 and 8, Saturday nights at 8, Sundays at 2 and 6. We're also playing Sundays at 11 a.m. Kids and Yiddish. The Mishigas continues. 90% English, 10% Yiddish, but 100% pure family fun. For tickets, call 1-800-9-YIDDISH.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City. We're speaking with Nancy Spielberg and her mother, Leah Adler, and Susan Spielberg. Oh, I'm Sue. Okay. And Jessica. We got everybody here. I have to say that Leah, I was in your restaurant, the Milky Way. It was 20-some years. What a great restaurant, but I guess you couldn't count on my business, huh?
I would go broke if I counted on you.
You have a wonderful daughter, Nancy. Does so much for the children's show. I was just talking to somebody who said, you're always so busy on behalf of different causes, especially the children of Chernobyl. What makes us so active in your behalf?
I have no life. Probably because I'm based in New York and it became the center, the hub of the U.S. operations for fundraising, and really because my husband, who is very charity-focused, brought up, from Rabbi Katz and brought up in a rabbinical household and always giving until it hurts, that I jumped in with him, and we were pushed by my stepfather, Bernie. And Bernie pushed the whole family to get involved. Sue does the D.C. area, and between New York, D.C., and L.A., we're covering this country.
That's terrific. But is Stephen involved too, or?
You know, he is very supportive of us. Physically, I mean, he doesn't give as much of his time as he used to, but he's been incredibly supportive, and mostly this event, he's been wonderful. He's one of the underwriters.
Anyway, thank you and congratulations on being awarded tonight and the good work that you're doing, and thank you.
Thank you.
The 2004 Olympics, it was a first. One man from a small country makes an impression felt around the world. The first Israeli gold medalist, the first Israeli to win 2 medals, the first time Hatikva was played during the award ceremony. Gal Friedman spent years training and competing against the great athletes around the world. But there is so much more to Gal Friedman than medals and windsurfing. Gal understands how it feels to yearn for something, to work hard, to dream, and in feeling so blessed with his success, Gal feels the need to give back to others, to reach out and touch a life that has not been as privileged as his own. He takes time to visit and support charities like Chabad's Children of Chernobyl. Gal's visits with the children have brought another level of fulfillment to both Gal and his wonderful kids. Recently, they watched intently as he gave them a demonstration of his windsurfing techniques. They delight in the idea that a person can strive to be the best in a sport that is so much fun. They are awed by his strength and determination, and he is awed by theirs. To them, he's the closest thing to a hero they've ever encountered, and to him, they are heroes. And he carries that thought with him. Their perseverance gives him strength to his own. With this strength, by helping others, he achieves new goals for himself as Israel's first gold medal winner in the 2004 Olympics.
It's been a few months since I won the gold medal, and I take little time to get used to the idea of being called a hero. Actually, I'm not embarrassed to say I quite like it, but seriously, I don't look myself as a hero. I look myself as a being blessed to represent my very special country, the land of Israel. Blessed with athletic ability and determination to train all those years for the Olympics, I have a great family who have encouraged me since kindergarten. I actually learned windsurfing from my dad. I am blessed to be here tonight with 2 incredibly important people, my wonderful girlfriend Michal, and my great friend and mentor, my coach Mike Gebhardt. Tonight, I'm not the hero. The children of the Chernobyl are the heroes, because they are competing for their lives. And to me, the real heroes are all of you. All of you who have worked so hard and have given so much to those kids who will not become forgotten victims of the Chernobyl disaster. You are the true gold winners. And tonight, but only for tonight, I'm proud to share my gold medal with each one of you.
We're speaking with George Rohr. He's so active in so many different Jewish causes. They call him King George, at least that's what I heard tonight. But he and his wife Pamela are one of the founders of the Chabad Children Chernobyl, over 15 years involved with the organization. They're being honored tonight. So mazel tov, congratulations.
Thank you, Zev. Thank you very much.
You know, I admire you for the work that you do in so many different Jewish causes. Is there any number of how many different organizations you're involved with?
Well, you're very kind. It's actually fewer than you would think, but I'm delighted to be a part of tonight's event, and in particular the fact that it's Chabad that is behind this incredible effort of Children of Chernobyl assures me that it's done with the greatest commitment and focus and intensity that could possibly be brought to bear. So.
Now, you've been involved 15 years with the Chabad Children of Chernobyl, so perhaps we can go back in time. You're being honored with one of the Founders Awards tonight. Let's go back in time. How did you get into the organization? How did you get motivated to participate in such a great way with this group?
Well, a big part of it is that we do an awful lot of business in the former Soviet Union, and I saw firsthand what happened in the region that was affected, not even directly in Chernobyl, but population, and in particular kids who live within wind-blowing distance of Chernobyl, and the effects that it had on so many kids and for so many years after the disaster, that seeing it firsthand, for which there's no substitute, really makes an indelible impression on you, and you feel like you have no choice but to try and do something to help.
Wonderful. I thank you for the work that you're doing. May God give you the strength to continue. George Rohr, I heard him call this King George tonight. For his work that he does. He's a wonderful person. You name it, he's there for the Jewish community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Especially for the Chabad Shalom Chernobyl.
Thank you, Zev.
Susan and David Tesla join us. They're being honored. One of the founders of the Chabad Shalom Chernobyl. Mr. Tesla himself has been to the Chernobyl region and seen firsthand what's going on. He's chairman of the executive committee of the Children of Chernobyl. Welcome both of you to the program. Congratulations on your honor tonight. And you, I understand, have been there. You've seen what the travesties, what it's done of the radiation, what nuclear disasters can do to people, on real people. Perhaps you can tell us about that.
I've seen, regrettably, I have seen the horror in the hospitals, and they're not really hospitals, Zev. What they are places for people to get better by themselves or to die. There is no thermometer, there is no stethoscope, there is not the basic rudimentary medical device. They don't have medicine. Any medical care is paid for privately by the families of kids, to the extent that if a child has a drip of antibiotics, the family will stand a 24-hour guard so that that medication, the IV drip, is not stolen from the arm of a child to insert into someone else. It is beyond description. Medical care does not exist. 2/3 of the hospitals in the former Soviet Union do not even have hot running water.
Wow. And you've been instrumental, I think, in airlifting a whole group of Chernobyl victims to the United States and elsewhere.
Yes, we've evacuated 2,300 kids. Regrettably, we evacuated 3 of them too late. But we see the benefit of our work. We have seen what I refer to as our grandchildren, children who have graduated from our program, have been saved, have been evacuated, have grown to health within the program, have married, and now have children of their own. Healthy, thank God, children. They have healthy children. And really, they're the grandchildren of the program.
The only way to save these children is to get them out of there, because otherwise they breathe polluted air, they ingest irradiated food, and they will not survive. So that's our quest, is to evacuate them and to give them a life that we want for our children.
Now we see the fruits of our labors in the fact that there are kids who have become adults. We have one kid who became a professor of mathematics at Hebrew U, another kid who's a professor of biology at Weizmann Institute. We have kids who are programmers, kids who are security guards, every kind of walk of life. We have a child that I saw 4 years ago who had a red beret under his epaulet. He was serving as a tzanchen, as a paratrooper in Israeli Defense Forces. When he arrived, he was 11. He was the height of a 6-year-old. His legs were bowed because strontium had been included in the bone structure instead of calcium. A miracle took place, which takes place in every kid, and that is that the strontium is replaced with calcium. And he had grown to full health, he had recovered entirely, and he was serving his country as a paratrooper.
Marvelous the work that you're doing, and I thank you for sharing that with us. And the goal is to get all the children out of Chernobyl. How many are left, by the way? Any numbers?
We talk about goals. We're at 2,300. When we reached 200, we spoke about the first 1,000. When we reached 1,000, we had a celebration called 1,001 and reached for 2,000. Now we're at 2,300, and with God's help, we'll reach 3,000, and we will keep going until we have them all out. We triage the kids. Those in most urgent need of evacuation come first. But there's no question that if we had more money, we would work faster. We could bring larger groups and more frequently.
I'm very impressed with work. Congratulations on getting a much-deserved award and for the important work that you're doing to bring out and to give really a new lease on life to a lot of the young people that really could have been devastated, and due to your efforts in the Chabad Children Chernobyl of helping them lead productive lives. We're going to be right back with our special broadcast from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City right after these messages. Stay tuned.
I've been on a lot of TV shows, but one of my favorites is Zev Brenner on Talkline. I love this show. I love this network. I love talking about my books, my activities with Zev Brenner. Good questions, good listeners, always get a good response.
Injury victims, you have rights. The right to money, to medical care, to lost wages, the right to insurance money, to cash awards, to damages, the right to legal payback. To enforce all your rights, call me at 1-800-624-8888. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer. I'll enforce your most important right, the right to money. Call me right away, 1-800-624-8888.
Agent MS is the great new video series for Jewish kids that educates while it entertains. Shimmy Epstein is a typical yeshiva boy, but when the forces of evil strike, led by their fiendish leader, Dr. Lotov, Shimmy transforms into the awesome Agent MS. The Forward recommends Agent MS as a perfect gift, reporting that in their experience, kids just eat it up. Agent MS is now out in 3 great episodes. Find it in your local Judaica store, or check out their website at agent-ms.com, or call 1-888-MS-123.
If you've ever considered hosting your own radio or TV show, then we can help you. Talkline Communications works with individuals and groups interested in broadcasting on radio and TV. Ideal for lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, organizations, or anyone interested in broadcasting. Talkline works with various TV and radio stations in New York and around the country that lease airtime at competitive rates so we can pass on that savings to you. For more information, call us at 212-769-1925. That's 212-769-1925.
Thank you for watching our special broadcast from the Chabad Children of Chernobyl dinner in New York City. Chabad Children of Chernobyl doing a great job in rescuing children from the nuclear disaster site in Ukraine. For more information, contact the address and phone number you see on screen. I'm Zev Brenner, inviting you to join us again next week, same time, same station here on the Talkline Communications Network. Shalom.
Thank you for watching Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's #1 Jewish program. If you have any comments or would like more information on all of Talkline's radio and television programs nationwide, contact the Talkline Communications Network at Post Office Box 20108, Park West Station, New York, New York 10025, or call 212-769-1925. Out of New York, call 1-800-628-TALK. That's TALK. This is the Talkline Communications Network.